Hi, Stephen from Owner Disown. So, guess what just landed on my desk? It is the Alienware M15. Not too bad. To be honest, I'm quite disappointed with the panel, the way it looks. Because you've got big bezels as well at the top and the bottom. Not so bad at the sides. But you do have the webcam up top, so that is nice to have. The trackpad, you know, it is smooth. Integrated buttons this time compared to the separate buttons. It's not a large trackpad. And of course, it's not centrally located because you've got a separate number pad too. And the keys feel okay. Not bad distance of travel, really. I think they're supposed to be 1.4 millimeters. And the lid, this is the silver version, of course. And the usual design. Love it or hate it. And the alien head there. It is light though, you know, and it is pretty thin. You do have some decent sized feet. And you have some good ventilation grills here. You do have the speakers either side here, firing down underneath. You have some nice heat sinks here, and you have heat sinks at the sides as well. So the cooling should be better in theory, you know. So let's compare it to the other ones. So, you know, comparing it to the Razer 15, you got the M15 here. Huge difference in size in just the panel lid itself. You know, the footprint is going to be much bigger. And I think the Razer seems to me to be, you know, better build quality. You've got a separate number pad here, and you don't have anything here on the Razer. The secondary function keys will light up on the M15. They don't on the trackpad, of course, is much bigger here. So the trackpad is probably a little bit better. Speakers wise, of course, the Razer fires them upwards while these fire them down. But let's have a look around at the lid side. I mean, it's just a huge difference in size of the panel. It's, you know, it's quite stares at you quite a lot. So the Zephyrus S is, you know, panel wise is pretty similar. The Alienware is slightly taller. It does take a bit more space. You know, it's not bad. It's pretty similar footprint, to be fair. And if you want to look at the keyboards, there's not much to choose from them either, of course, apart from the placement. Apart from the placement here, of course, it's push forward on the Zephyrus. Usual placement here, and of course a much, you know, smaller trackpad for the Zephyrus. And then you've got the three panels on battery full brightness, just looking at the difference. And I must admit, the Alienware does look a bit more vibrant, I'd say, than the other two. I do like that. So comparing the ports and the thickness, actually, you can see, of course, how much thicker the Alienware M15 is compared to the Zephyrus S and the Razer 15. But anyway, these are the ports on the left-hand side. And you'll see at least it's got good heat sinks here on the left as well as the Zephyrus. Now this is where, you know, the Razer was failing. You do have a Ethernet jack, which is great. I like that. And you have a USB 3.1 type A port, combo headphone microphone jack. And of course here are the speakers. And of course the Noble lock. Around the front you can see that of course the Razer and the Zephyrus both have a little notch here to help lift up the panel. There's nothing here on the Alienware. And on the right hand side you have the other speaker, two more USB 3.1 type A ports, and the right hand heatsink grill. So it's good. That was very nice. And it's round the back that you see a huge differences. Of course the Razer, very clean looking, nothing round the back. Now the Alienware of course has the HDMI port, display port, Thunderbolt 3 port, and the Alienware amp jack, which is great, and the power connector. So I do like the way it's around the back. I do like that. And the Zephyrus, of course, has some ports around the back as well. And you see some nice, quite lengthy heat sinks here, even wider than the Zephyrus. All right, so let's look at the weight. About 5 pounds 2 ounces. Razer 15. £4 9 ounces, and the Zephyrus S about £4 10 ounces. Quickly comparing underneath, Razer 15 very small air intake grills, much bigger and better on the Alienware M15. And of course the Zephyrus has the hinge mechanism, so it's a bit different there, but some good looking cooling there. Here side by side you've got the Alienware 13 on the right and the M15 on the left. So here running AIDA64 on the Alienware. Now this is using performance mode on the command center, thermal performance. It does increase the CPU clock speed pretty well. It's been running for quite a while, and now it's like about 3,700 megahertz. So it's pretty up there. It does do that, push a lot of watts, but the temperatures, even liquid metal, in the high 90s, 99 degrees. Now this does go down if you change from thermal performance to thermal cool or even thermal balanced. What that does is changes the clock speed down, thermal balanced, about 3,200 megahertz, resulting, still peaks in the 90s, low 90s, so it still gets up there. So it's still going to be running hot, say 94 degrees. So what you'll be forced to do is to work on thermal cool, clock speed around about 3,000. Then it runs quite comfortably in the low 80s. Alright, yeah, so this is the Razer max fan, 3,165 degrees. Over to the Zephyrus, been running a long time. Clock speed still is the highest, about 3,300. Temperatures max at 77 degrees. So there you have it. That's my first look and unboxing of the Alienware M15. Now, I've shown side by side how it compares to the Zephyrus S and the Razer 15 and the outgoing Alienware 13. You can make up your own mind on which one you prefer. Now, the thing that's troubling me, there's actually a couple of things that trouble me. From an aesthetics point, I'm not a great fan of these big bezel up here and down here, resulting in a huge lid. That I'm not too keen on. Everything else looks pretty spot on. I do like that. The second thing, and perhaps more concerning, is the cooling. Running the AW13 stress test on all of my 3 systems there. Unfortunately, you're going to have to probably run this M15 on balance mode with an undervolt to keep it in check. But of course, in my full review, I will test it all out. And what is concerning, this is liquid metal, and it still ran hotter than the stock paste Zephyrus, and and it's even running hotter than my Razer 15, which is also liquid metal. So if you're having a stock paste model coming in direct from Dell, I'd be a little bit concerned. But anyway, I'll do that in my full review. I'll test it, but I'll also be doing live streaming on Twitch, and I'll be showing all the clock rates and everything, the temperatures on there. So follow me on Twitch. I'll have the link down in the description below. And you do have an issue with Optimus laptops. If you're doing a stream from the laptop itself, it doesn't show the proper frames per second and everything like that. So I might just have a camera pointed at the laptop screen, and then you got the true figures of what's going on the laptop. Anyway, remember, like to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.